Hello. All right, we are back. I just realized that almost took 2 hours, but we did get the got lunch. I actually got a shower, which was a good idea. And then I also pulled out the random stuff that Dallas needs to pack into the truck, and now we're back to turn the bags. We have everything sewn up to basically the turn, and I take my rings off because they are in the way today apparently. Just so they don't get like snagged on stuff in the actual bag. Anyway, Dallas is going to load the truck, and then I need to finish the stock, pack the stock, and load the stock. So we're going to turn everything out. Now, I do an inspection of the seams and everything like that at this point, just to make sure everything got caught, because obviously I don't want any raw seams when you're actually using your project bag, and I think we're good. This bag was worth it. So if you were watching me earlier today, I was kind of panicking because I didn't have some of the handles for some of the small box bags. Adorable. Also, that is a really nice structured bag with this different, like the fusible interfacing versus the sewing. Anyway, I was freaking out because I didn't see the handles for 4 of the bags. But when I go back and I actually watch the video of the top stitching, they didn't even get top stitched. So I have a feeling I didn't even sew them and didn't realize until this morning. So they are in timeout. They are practically finished. So they'll be among the first things I finish. I gotta do taxes next week, but like as a reward, I'm not gonna do taxes all day. I'll reward myself with like some sewing time. Like maybe half and half. Half taxes, half sewing time or something, I don't know. But I'll make sure that they're finished in time for the update at the end of the month, given that I have been teasing them so much on this, like, on these lives. But yeah, we're less than 12 hours until setup time for, or less than 24 hours until setup time for, oh my goodness. Yeah. Sloths. Is even a sloth on the handle? Up here, actually. Sorry, there's a sloth here, there's a sloth on the side, and there's a sloth, a couple sloths on the front. Sweet. Anyway, I don't know where my train of thought was going before I got distracted by sloths, so we're just going to ignore it now. Do have a bunch still to turn. So we've got like 30 bags to turn, and then 21 big bags to turn, and then we've got snaps to install in the needle stashers, and then I am going to pull a selection of bags to do a pick your own order selection at the actual show. So because why not? It's a local show, you may as well be able to decide what you want. Or if you want to get like a wallet or something like that, that is also going to be available. My goodness, these bags are coming out well. So this is basically a preview of what will be coming to Airdrie tomorrow. And then before I actually do the update, I will do a full, like, actual recorded video of the products. Because hey, that's always fun to show you what will be going up in the shop. Yeah, and I'll finish those small box bags that didn't get done. Monday is going to be a tidy up day. A hard reset on the studio. I need to actually sort out the whip bins because it's like I just ended up throwing a bunch in there when I was doing the really big clean in December before I cleaned the carpets. So now I gotta go back through the bins and like actually sort out, okay, this is a large box bag, this is a big bag, this is a Kato, blah blah blah. It's hard to do when you're the only person really, like, you are the person. So cleaning and tidying up is like one of the last things on my list usually. But I do need to get the desk behind me tidied up so I can do my taxes. Maybe I'll tidy up actually the snap, like the one with all the hardware desk. And I can use that one because then at least I can sit by a window. where I'm sitting is extremely bright, but if I tidied that one up, then I could like sit where the arm is facing the mountains. And actually, if I moved the like hardware hangers there, I could actually move the desk in front of the window. That might be really nice. And put the short stubby end against the wall and then the long end along the window. Although that would block sunlight, so I don't know. We'll figure that out. It's also kind of like, what do I actually do at that desk that I need it? Or do I need to swap it out for something a little bit smaller, maybe? I don't know. We'll figure it out. This studio is always evolving. Alright, there's the capybara. That needs actually a little bit better trim on its top stitching. Apparently I missed a little bit of thread yesterday when I was doing it. Not surprising. And easy to fix. Because that is now fixed. Here for now, and actually, yeah, how am I gonna do this? Because there's not enough room on the desk to like put them all. They're all kind of sitting here, taking up the actual space of the like. Yeah, okay, let's pop you over there, and then we'll put the to-dos here. No, a bunch fell off. Of course, they escaped over the back of the bin. Be seen in 5 minutes. Okay, I got a bunch in my lap. When I clear my lap, I'll get up and get those ones. They're already in the bin there. These ones can join them. There we go. And then crepe cats. Glad I took my rings off, and I'm actually gonna put some lotion on my hands because they are horrendously dry. They mostly patched up when I was down in Florida, and now it's like not even a week home. I noticed they were getting really bad yesterday. It's just like, ugh. Winter weather is brutal on my skin. There's the crepe cats. They're adorable. The colorway is really good. Actually, yeah, I need lotion now, or else I'm gonna end up with like hangnails because the fabric is actually stealing a bunch of the actual like moisture out of my hands too. So let's remedy this before it gets worse. This is the steam cream from Takako of Edelknit. It's really, really nice. And it's like super light lotion, so it's a really good lotion for when you're actually working with fabrics and knitting and everything like that, because it absorbs really fast. You don't need much, so I'm gonna do a little bit better treatment of my actual thumbs because they're the ones that are complaining right now, and then around the cuticles of my other fingers. There we go. Good enough. Actually, we'll give it one more moment to soak in, and I will have some more caffeine. I am running on far too little sleep, but it's okay. I was in then show push. I've already told Dallas, and Dallas agrees. It's like Sunday. We are going to just sleep in. We have yoga, but it's not until almost 11 in like the morning. It's like 10:45, so we don't have to leave the house until 10. The kids will probably still be up between like 7:30 and 8 because they like to get up early too. But let's have a sleep. Holy. All right, there we go. Oh my goodness, laundry day cats are so freaking adorable. I don't know why I keep saying that, like it's like I didn't choose good fabrics. But it's just like when they start coming together, sometimes it's just like so much more impactful than just like seeing them in the abstract of like, oh, this could become a good bag. It's like, I'm seeing the bag and it is glorious. I guess that's maybe the difference more than anything. Sakura are really nice. I'm foreseeing some cute wallets in this. It's a good size print for that sort of thing, and within the non-directionality of it, it would be really easy to work with. Actually, it's the same as these black cats and strawberries, actually. No, we didn't catch the... Okay, well, that's one of the things you double check here. That means that's a pretty easy fix. So I'm just going to run it under the... Well, kind of an easy fix. It's not a super easy fix. Because now we got a bunch of stitch lines right there. So let's turn it completely and we will fix it because I want... This one's adorable. Okay, so that's the end. That's fine. This is the end that needs it stitched down. Where's my seam ripper? Seam ripper! I know you're in here. There it is. Right at the back of the drawer, of course, as I clank around in there. There we go. That's the stiletto. There's the seam ripper. Alrighty, here we go. We need to take out the top stitching or the stitching. Yeah? Dallas is off to get the float that I forgot that I needed. Alright, let's seam rip this. There we go. I think we're almost there. This one's a little bit more difficult because it actually ended up with like 3 seams over the zipper. Because the first one that went over, it was like too little fabric for me to be comfortable without it like tearing out pretty much in the first few uses. So it's cut like 3 lines of stitches, of course, over this bit that we need to prep. We are nearly there though. May as well take the time to fix it right now. We are this close to being finished it. Instead of putting it into timeout. Just annoying. It's annoying. Bah, bah, bah. Bah, bah, bah. Alright, there we go. Actually, it looks like it didn't even really catch the other side of the twill tape that well either, so we'll make sure that it gets pulled through well. Okay, there we go. Where'd the twill tape fall to? It fell into the bag, and where did it go? That was for the... Like, there's Japanese packaging in this drawer. Why is there Japanese packaging in this drawer? But it was for the ruler I got at Nomoto, which I just realized I don't know where it is anymore. Oh well, I will remedy that later. Alright, twill tape back in. Not yet, apparently. These mishaps happen off the camera too, but it feels like there's been a lot of mishaps this week. I guess that's also just like coming from maybe the fact that it's like I am under a time crunch. Like I'm always under a time crunch for a show, but in particular this week. Okay, there we go. And then we're gonna shuffle it up. And now we're good. Okay. Patch it up. The seam for the actual exterior, and then we'll go in and we'll do the seam for connecting the two so that there's no gap between lining and zipper, so otherwise there will be. So like that, and that'll help reinforce it too so that there's no like weakened spots because we picked out the stitching, which there shouldn't be anyway, but you know, better safe than sorry. And fixed. Now the twill tape is definitely through and it won't pull out instantly. Is Dallas texting me? Just double checking on the, I'm setting it out for the float and he's just like, no coins? And I'm like, no, I've got my coins, don't worry. Just the bills. Alright, there we go. Turning out adorable. I'm not gonna show you every single one because that would take forever, but just trust me, they're adorable. Okay, make sure that that's all finished up there. Yeah, we're good. Pick up the extra thread, and then because the other ones fell out of my lap, we'll finish turning this one, then I'll grab all the ones that are like scattered. This one, this fabric in particular, I love it, but I really love it in the big bag because it looks like very elegant between the canvas frame and the black webbing handles and the black zipper. It's just like absolutely amazing. This is looking very dapper as well. Okay. The 3 escapees this direction, and then I think there's about 3 escapees down here. Yep. There we go. Okay, now I'll go through and hey, there's the push pin I lost the other day. That would be good to pick up now before I actually step on it. If I can get it. It's like, I am a slippery little thing, and I'm not going to listen to you. We'll stick it on the magnet up here so that I don't lose it, hopefully. There we go. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This one needs its handle trimmed down. It's a little bit too much fabric. There we go. One of the biggest tips is that always make sure that your zipper is open. Eek. Sorry, Alice is still texting me. He's taking the Jeep, which is plugged in because it's parked outside. And he's like, I'm leaving it parked for it because I almost left it plugged in. Which would not be good. Alright, there we go. Like this, and like this. It is supposed to be warmer tomorrow. It's supposed to be like +1, which is going to be so much better. So if you're considering coming down, it feels like it's a good day. I don't think it's supposed to snow or anything like that. So it's adorable. Oh, that Jack Russell. And and then the Jack Russell is actually on the handle as well. So when it's sitting on the table, that's how it'll sit on the table. And then there's also a bulldog on here as well, French bulldog, that one. It's like I was pretty sure there was something I was supposed to do in between those bags, but I don't remember what it is. So there we go. This one is already spoken for by Naomi. Is still glorious, and I do have another small box of it cut, so we'll just make I'll make another small box out of it later on this week, well, next week. I'm not doing any sewing on Sunday, and probably not on Monday either, because Monday is the studio reset day, because it needs a reset post-Christmas, because I did a bunch of sewing for the kids for Christmas, and then I was trying to get stuff prepped and ready for both Caroline and for Airdrie. And so it's just kind of descended back into chaos already. Just how it goes. But definitely time to give it another, a proper... I also did a bit of a quite large rearrangement right before or right during that. Right before. And so things just haven't settled up quite yet. There's stuff across the room that needs to be moved to over here, and because I've got a couple of the parts bins, wall mounted parts bins on the wall, but they're all the way across the room, so I need to actually get them moved and put on behind the desk here, so that when I'm working we're able to just do most of the work right here. So, but when I set it up that way over on that side of the room, it had to be that way because my sewing machine was over there and Dallas was still in this back corner. So one of the big things that changed this summer is he actually moved upstairs into kind of a nook office that we have by our front door. And then, sorry, I'm just going to stretch this so I can see what you said, Andrea. Winter would be better without snow. Honestly, I will take the snow, but I would prefer no ice. Snow is fine. Snow is fun if it's not too cold. But ice is never fun. It doesn't matter what the temperature is. Yeah, but driving at least there's not supposed to be any snow for tonight or anything like that, which is nice. And so all the roads should have been, Dallas was saying that the roads out to Airdrie last night were actually good, so, because he was out visiting friends there already last night. So that's good. It means we don't have to leave extra time either. I've definitely set up in minus 25 with blowing snow. That was a disgusting weekend for setup. So I'm looking forward to a positive and no fresh snow. Heck, even slightly in the minuses is fine. It's just not minus 25. We're still minus 14 right now. Although yeah, we got a pretty good dump of snow actually. It didn't look like it was snowing much, but then you woke up and it was one of those snows where it's you've got 10 to 15 centimeters. Canmore's actually been under snowfall warning the past few days because, well, they're in the mountains, directly in the mountains. And yeah, I'm well, that's gross. These are turning out so amazing. That is such a Japanese fabric. I love it. This is something that I'd expect to see on a furosode. So there's different kimono, and when you're wearing when you're unmarried and a young woman, you can wear a furosode, which has the really dramatically long sleeves. And that's actually one of the prints that I would associate with that. Yeah, okay. So if we could have the snow without it melting into ice, we're down for it. Perfect. I could agree with that. So I don't run outside until the snow is gone. Because I'm I already have a hard enough time getting myself out to walk out when it's icy. I don't need to be running on it too. Besides the whole temperature thing, it's icy. I am a fair weather outdoor runner, and I think that's fine. These geisha ones are coming out extremely well. Oh yeah, there's the nice full geisha on the back. Actually, almost 2 full geisha, and then the 2 on the front as well. could have used a coffee actually, rather than just a caffeinated pop. Oh well. Dallas packed the truck. He's out for my float right now. And then I will pack, well, once all of this is finished, I will pack the stock and then it will get packed in the truck. And freeze in our garage overnight. Not quite. We have a garage heater, thankfully. It makes it way more pleasant. Alright, there we go. All around. These bunnies. I know people have been losing their minds about these bunnies and they just got even cuter. Also, Airdrie, I totally thought that I found the ready-to-ship canvas pouches today, and I still have not. I do not know where I've put them, so I will make a really good effort to try to find them on Monday. Although I'll probably find them while I'm unpacking stock tomorrow or something. That's what I'm hoping. I hope I've just tucked them in like one of the bags and not really been in the same pockets since. And I'll make sure to set aside your triangle pouch as well, we don't sell it. Alright, there's the sketchbook dogs. Again, also really cute. They're also very subtle, except for their like pops of color. But the dogs themselves, it's not like a fabric that goes dogs. It's kind of like dogs. I like dogs. And then I think this is what I'm going to be referring to as the pixel cats, because they still remind me of like 16-bit. Like SNES and Sega. Oh, Sega might have been 32-bit. Anyway, SNES was, so Super Nintendo was 16-bit. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, that's what these guys remind me of. They're not as pixelated, but like the colors and just like their designs remind me of that kind of era of gaming. Oh my goodness. I can't keep all my bags, but this one is extremely tempting. Like I was saying just earlier, it's like, it's not like I don't know that these things are gonna turn out awesome. It's just like, as they get done, like it's taking the abstract, very flat fabric and turning it into stuff that's usable and adorable. And it's just like, every time sometimes, it's just amazes me what can be done with fabric. And this is like not even anything super insane. It's not like I'm draping something on a mannequin and doing something structural in a garment or anything like that. I'm making boxes, but like these boxes are so cute. These will get their proper anything that doesn't sell in Airdrie tomorrow will get the proper like rundown post Airdrie before the update. We'll go over like linings and exteriors and all of that. So that's why just the kind of quick view as I place them back on the pile, because we've only got a few more box bags to turn, and then we need to work on the big bags, and then we can do all of these finishing seams. 51 finishing seams. I had to pull a few, so yes, if you were keeping track, there's 21 big bags, and now there's only 30. Actually, this one's spoken for as well, but it is. I also have more of this fabric already cut, so we'll probably make the second bag before the update as well. But yeah, I completely missed sewing handles for like 4 of the bags. I looked at the top stitching video for the one, and it's not even there, so I don't think I even sewed them to begin with. So I'm like, all right then. Slight panic this morning when I couldn't find them. And then looking at the video, I'm like, well, they're not even like getting top stitched, so what the heck? So I think they're probably lazing around in the or lounging in the cutting studio being like, heh heh heh, we're in here and she doesn't know it. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So good. So cute. I love the whiskers on this one guy. And then I love, this is my favorite cat on this fabric, is this little like tuxedo cat. So anyway, so now I need to make like 4 more handles. I was like, maybe I'll do it today. And I'm like, no. Just head down, get finished what's nearly done. Because I also have way more snaps to install than I think I do, I think. So I'm like looking at the pile of needle stashers. So that'll be what we work on after we get these finishing seams done. And after that, we'll write out all the price tags. And then after that, they'll all get their price tags put on them if I have time. If not, that'll be a tomorrow thing, but at least their price tags will be done. Because I do not want to be up until 2 a.m. again tonight. I'm not doing that. We're having a good sleep tonight. Although it's already 2:15 and I'm not feeling too bad. There we go. The pile behind me groweth. Flynn is like curled up in the big bags. I opened the windows or the blinds because I was like, hey, there's sunshine. It's gonna be warm, but it is not. I'm actually, well, I don't have my toque on, so it's not insane like it has been the past few days. I did come straight down with my hat on earlier today though, because it was like, I'm not even gonna mess around with this. I know it's cold outside. We're just gonna wear a toque. We're gonna wear a hoodie. We're gonna wear the sweatpants and like the woolly socks and the woolly slippers, everything. Yes, I 100% could do that. I think I might need to just add a coat on for you. But I 100% could combine them with the bags. That's fine. There's that purple one. Ooh, she's like really well placed. I like that. And they're decently placed. And then you've got most of them might go on the one side. And on the bottom too, actually. This one will be available at Airdrie. Naomi just pounced on a couple of the bags, as I have been suggesting. But this one will be available. I love it. I love the pink in this one. I like how it's kind of like muted, washed out. It's almost like you're looking at it on a like TV screen that's not quite staticky, but almost. I just realized that like with our new TVs, you don't even really have static. Like that's not even something that our kids are really going to experience. But I'm sure most of the people watching this, as soon as I said static, could hear it in their heads. Particularly like TV static. Alright, okay, I'm gonna do this one because I really want to see what this one looks like, but I want to take a little bit more time to appreciate it. Because that's the one where it's like I couldn't have planned it if I had wanted to. Alright, so this is that floral spray one with the lime green background. If I keep saying this every time I see it, but it was a wild coincidence. I bought this at Norma Taylor, and then about 2 days later, 1 to 2 days later, Caroline and I were going for the Geiko dances, and there was a Maiko there that had an obi that I can't remember exactly, but the colors were almost exactly the same, and I'm pretty sure the motif was very similar as well. And the only difference really was the fact that her obi would have been silk and this was cotton. And so like because there's a little bit of color differentiation, but like it was essentially the same. It was so cool because it's like if we'd gone to a later showing, if we'd gone the day before, if like so many factors led to us actually seeing this Maiko in that obi. It's super cool. Alright, here we go. I know, right? It's sometimes it's tough. Like the only reason that I can let go of so many bags is it's like the incentive is extremely good. The incentive is you get to go to Japan to buy more fabric once you sell more of your bags. So you know, that's an extremely good incentive to sell. That worked out so amazing. Okay, so what happened when I was actually sewing it, I did not plan this. Sometimes I do fussy cut my bags. I don't a lot because it's like I don't want to create fabric wastage. or like I don't want to have to deal with the scraps of the fabric wastage, because my goodness, I am drowning in scraps. But this one worked out where it's like obviously on the front there's this nice like diagonal line, but then it goes into the back and you've got that full flower spread. Like, look at that. That is so gorgeous. And then I like how it's almost like a gradient of flowers because it's petered out on the front. You turn it and it just gathers on the back. It's so cool. That worked out so well. I wasn't expecting it to actually take up the whole back of the bag either, so that is spectacular. And then the handle's a little bit calmer, or at least not as full of flowers, I guess might be the better thing. And then yeah, I really like how it kind of diagonally went across the front of the bag as well. That is really special. All right, that's what I mean. Like you take this like flat fabric. That's what got mushed there, and you like, and then you turn it 3D, and it just changes it completely. It's so cool. But yes, I do want. Most of the time, it's always like, oh my god, I want that one, and I want that one, and I want that one. Sometimes when I'm in Japan and I see a particular fabric now, I just make sure that I buy myself some too, because I'm like, you know you're going to want a bag out of this. And so I just buy the fabric, because why not? Okay, I'm going to put my rings back on, so we're not turning in quite as tight a space. We should be okay. Hopefully I've opened all the zips on these. That's going to be the big one. And the big bags are both easier and harder to turn. Easier in some ways, harder in other ways. So it's actually called birthing a bag, which I don't know about that one. It's nowhere near as painful to birth a bag. No. That's because it also doesn't take 9 months, 10 months, and a full like 2 to 7 years recovery time. Alright, there we go. So let's get this pushed out now. So this is Crepe Cats. I'll just get everything pushed out just to double check that like all the side seams got caught, canvas got caught, everything that we haven't been able to see since we like did the top stitching. We're going to make sure that it got finished basically. Push out the corners on both sides, make sure those are nice and done, and then make sure the side seams have all been caught. Good, good. And then actually, Andrea, if you let me know what color you want, what I'll do is I'll send you an invoice, and then that'll be, I just realized that'll work out the best for just making sure that shipping is correct and everything like that too. And then yeah, we can totally combine it with the current shipment that's going to go out once I find all your stuff. Alright, this is that cat faces one. Get out. Almost. There we go. Haha. Okay, one moment. Dallas is trying to walkie-talkie me. You get the, oh, 1 second. I'm gonna turn that down because you might continue to got an Apple Watch over Christmas, and so he's like really enjoying the walkie-talkie function. It's awesome. I love it. But I was like, I am on stream, man. He's saying it's like, so I don't know if this is like universal or not, but we own a Jeep, and when you're in the Jeep, people wave at you, and he's always like, there's people waving at me. Why are they waving at me? And I'm like, because you're in the Jeep. It's the Jeep wave. That's why they're waving at you. Don't worry. You don't actually know the person. They're just waving at you because you're in their vehicle. Alice. Alice is looking very nice as well. Obviously there is some thread to remove here. But he's on his way back. I didn't realize that it worked through like the iMessage system, so it's like that's a really good range. Like across town basically. But apparently it goes through our phone, so I'm like, oh, okay, well that's kind of, but not quite as impressive in some ways. There we go. It would be a good way to keep in contact on the race day or something like that, though. That would be fun versus like a text. That's what's going to be super useful for. Because we tried to kind of use it down at Disney, and it was like the park was really loud and busy. It was really busy, and so it just kind of faded into background noise in some ways. Super cute. Super cute. I should actually, here, I'm gonna adjust the camera so that you can actually see this a little bit better. I think if I do the back ultra wide, you'll have a better view. There we go. Oh, I should just grab a bunch here. Alright, so I won't have some of these prints in the small box bag because of the handles thing, but I will have them in the big bags, which is exciting as well. So, like the Shiba Inu and the black cat in the windows on purple. Those are the ones that were missing in the small box bags. Alright, dude. I know you're comfy, but I need my bags. I need my bags. Eek. Everything's falling. It's like, why are you freaking out? I'm perfectly fine. I'm just laying on your bag. Chilling. Okay, one more. And you can lay back down. There, go for it. Okay, that is all of the big bags. Now we'll turn all of these out. And then we'll do the finishing seams. The nice thing is that with the finishing seams, we just fold it under. Fluff. We fold it under, and then we fold it under, and then we just zip over it, so it's chain pieced, and then I'll just trim the bags apart later. So what are we, 45 minutes in, and we're well over halfway what we needed to turn already, which is awesome. I hope that was just, yeah, that'll be fine. Zipper catching. Alright, so here's the tuxedo cats. Here we go. Tuxedo cats. Yeah, so like that black base on this just brings so much more focus up to the actual fabric. It's nuts. I love it. And again, this still allows you to wash these bags because they don't have any leather on it. The only ones you can't wash are the ones with leather, like the Kato and the Luxe tote bag at this point. Oh, Oh, and the obi purses. I do not recommend washing the obi purses because they are silk, and silk will stain with water typically. They have to have a very specific washing style to actually, yeah. Like I wouldn't take any of my kimono to the dry cleaner in Canada. Actually, I think one of the shop owners in Calgary, she's Japanese, or I think Japanese Canadian at this point. And she took one of her kimono back. She's like, it's my, like, I think it's her grandma's or her great grandma's, vintage, antique more. And she's like, but there's something staining it. So I'm like, do you know how to clean it? I'm like, take it to Japan. I have no clue. But my best suggestion would be to take it to Japan and get it cleaned there at a kimono, like, specialist place, because, yeah, they figured, she took it last trip and they figured it was probably soy sauce or something like that, so. Push, 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 push. Oh man, these dark geisha prints are gorgeous. Michael prints. I really like the background parasols on these as well. Lots of times the backgrounds can be really busy and like distracting, but it, like, the parasol is done in such a way that it's very subtle and like super nice. Alright, there we go. Bag, like that. It's really good. You got a couple good Maiko there, a full one there, and on the flip side, yeah, there's like a few full Maiko on here as well. There we go. Alright, we are down to less on my lap now. So the crochet flowers, crochet granny square flowers will be available in Airdrie in the big bag. It's just the small bag that's been spoken for, so this one will be available. I'm excited to like debut these at a show, like with the canvas bottoms like this, because I've been talking about it since like July, but again, it was like I just done the show push of them. Well, no, I think so. I would have had a full big amount of them in at Omatsuri, which was mid-August, and so I was like, I'm not gonna go through and remake a bunch right now, because like there's other shapes to focus on. So it's been since August, so I'm excited that now I can like bring them to a show, mostly because big bags have sold quite well and it is time to restock anyway. All that would help is if I push that corner out. Aha, there we go. That's why I was like feeling meh inside, because it was scrunched up on the zipper. Alright. Also realized last night when I was doing my stream that I had put January 24th for the show. But I'm like, no, it's January 20th. Ah. So that's been like scrolling erroneously across the bottom of my screen for the past week. I'm like, damn it. It's the 20th. I know I've got it correct everywhere else, and I'm pretty sure whenever I've talked about it, I've said the 20th. But I'm like, not everyone's going to be here when I'm saying that it's on the 20th. A lot of people are just going to be reading that scroll at the bottom, ticking along constantly. Alright, here we go. The zipper up here, like that. Yeah, sweet. Is the game precarious behind me? Yes. Are we almost done? Also yes. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so a little bit further than I thought. I thought we were down around 10 or 9 or 10, but I'll take 12. 12 is good. Oh my goodness. I do not understand why my phone keeps dropping its video. And that wasn't even my phone. That was the software being like, we are not going to show this on the stream. Alright, but now I'm back. Okay, good. At least my face cam is like consistently on. Eek. Okay, that was a bit of a tight turn. It's all going to be a tight turn. Turn, turn, turn. Yes! Excellent. Alright. These corners up there, and make sure we're all good here. And this is the birds that I was like insistent had to be done because hi, that is so bright and cheery for this time of year. Birds, bright birds. All right, 11 bags, ha ha ha. Professor Capybara. I don't know, when I had more of this print available, there was bicycles on it. Oh yeah, the bicycle is on this one. So it's like, why I call it Professor Capybara is this dude on the side. He's a professor. Could be. That would be definitely some subconscious sabotage, that's for sure. Electronic sabotage. Well, the thing is though, is like I like the capybaras, but I don't need a capybara bag. Like I know some people do. You know. I would literally drown in bags if I did that though. Like, especially when I was in my highest producing like years, when I was like for Knit City one year I made over 500 items. And like it wasn't all bags, it was like small stock like needle stashers and notions pouches and like all of that too, but like it was hard enough to move what I had left for stock and like fabric and stuff like that when we moved last year. Is that just no, that was almost, it's 2 years ago. We've been in this house for almost 2 years. I'm like, wait, did I go to Japan the same year we moved? But no. No, I did not. Alright, there we go. The sketchbook dogs with the bright like details. Hi cat, what's up? He's like chilling back here like, hey, I am your cat. I am the original baby. You're not the original baby, but you are one of them. Ooh, here's that cat with the like red floral. And this is, even before I turned this, I knew it was going to be a very elegant bag, so let's see how it turned out. Because it's like between the black zip and the fabric and the black canvas and the black webbing with the pops of red, it was already gorgeous. And like, just like I said, like elegant. Because a lot of the fabrics I end up with are just cute. And like, not in a derogatory way, but that's what they are. That's their purpose. They're cute. But this is actually, from what I remember, going to turn out very elegant. For a tote bag. Let's be realistic, it's a tote bag. Oh yeah. So that's what I mean. So like it just, like, with the framing and then the fabric, it's like a really good size of fabric for this amount of like space, the black webbing, the black zipper, just like, it just came together really well. I think that's the winner for my favorite bag. This one, and actually so that's my favorite big bag today. And that floral small box bag that just came out shockingly well with its placement that was not planned. So they win in their own categories and are tied otherwise. Of like, I really like those ones. Yeah, can you imagine the kids playing in all of these? It would be a disaster. They already are chaos creators down here, and have all these bags down here too. Yeah, like I said, I have great incentive to not keep a hold of all the bags, thankfully. And yes, tech. Oh, good reminder. I need to charge my card reader. Thank you. Just like, wait, tech. There is something about tech I need to do, and that is it. I need to charge my card reader. Tech is really with you until it's not. Hedgies, which are also adorable. Okay, yeah, I will finish turning these, and then I'm gonna run upstairs and grab the card reader and get it charging. As long as I've got a C-to-C connector. I might not. Well, I do for my laptop, but I'm not unplugging my laptop right now while we're streaming. That would be disastrous. But I might have one in the truck. Okay. Oh, wait, no, there's one connected, or it's like in the cash drawer with it, because we don't have a lot of C-to-C chargers right now. And that's USB C-to-C. Out. There is Alice with the frame. So good. Okay, I've lost track of how many we have left, but you know, we'll get there. We're getting there. We're almost there too. Drove by. I hope their windows were rolled up, but they were like had their music just cranked enough that I could hear it through our windows. So that's impressive. That's a good sound system, man. There we go. And we'll pop this up here like that. Zip. There you go. There's a thread to trim. And back here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sweet. Oh, 4, 5. Oops. That's not bad. What are we at? We're at an hour. And yeah, I will run up and get the card reader plugged in to charge, because I have done that in the past, or I've forgotten the reader and it's like, haha, I can't take credit or debit today, which, well, I can still take credit, but I can't take debit, and it's annoying. I don't know why they haven't figured out how to just take a payment on your phone, to be honest. It's like everything else runs through your phone. Like with the new iPhones, they are RFID readers. So why couldn't I just take the payment with my phone? Like I get maybe for debit and stuff like that, but like you should be able to tap a card, like a credit card or whatever. Also very elegant. Blue background with the navy detailing. Okay, good. Like, that's strap looked like it was twisted, but it was not. Thank goodness. If I find a tangled strap right now, it is in timeout until we get back from Airdrie. Because that would require going right back to the beginning and redoing a lot of work. Alright. The crochet triangles, which are like the bright yellow, orange, and pink. And we went with the pink zip and yellow webbing. Because my pink webbing is too light of tone to go well with this, but the pink zip worked really well. And then I was able to pick up two of the really bright colors, two of the three really bright colors in this fabric, which is always super fun. Alright, there it is. I think that puts it down to, I was going to say 4 bags, but we're down to 3 bags. That's even better. Yeah, actually, it is snack and coffee time. I'm not going to have a coffee after dinner, but I will have coffee this afternoon because I did hit that wall and I hit it particularly hard today. It was nuts because I didn't get to bed till 2, which is kind of what I expected. But we have to be up with the kids around 6:30 to get them to like daycare on time. And my eldest had a rough night, so I like went and slept with the eldest in their bed to keep them there and quiet. And woke up around 4:30 I think, and like had a massive crick in my neck and everything because their pillows are no longer meant for me. They were very flat, and I was like, no. So I crawled back into our bed, and it was cold, of course, because of course I hadn't been there. It's just a rough night. I did get as much sleep as I could for the circumstances, but I wrapped up the stream around 1, but I also was like, I am not I am going to work on the time open next. That is actually the, thank you. Call me out on it when I'm actually streaming, because it's like, I say I will work on the time open, and then I'll be like, no, but new fabrics, Andrea. There's new fabrics to be worked with. Not these boring ones that are almost done. It's so dumb. It's like the needle stashers. So, like, clearing out all these needle stashers, the problem with them being that they did actually need a new supply to make them a viable product again, because the metal snaps that I was using were like murder on the actual, not really, but like they weren't setting properly in the thinner fabrics. So that was part of what swayed me towards getting the plastic snaps, and then they just also set better. So that was kind of the delay there. But yes, I'll work on the time open. What I'm going to do is on Monday, I'm going to do a hard reset on the studio, clean up all the garbage and everything like that that's accumulated. And then I'm going to go through the work in progress bins and get them to the and sort them not into like what kind of bags they are, but more or less like what stage they're at. So the nearly dones, the almost theirs, and like I think that's going to be the better thing. And then I'll pick at them and start with like the nearly dones, and then we'll go into the almost theirs, and then like work my way up from there. Alright, there's the last big bag to turn. It is now coffee time with a little bit of a snack. My eyes are telling me it is time for a break and like a different focal distance, so that's the other part of this. So I will be right back after a snack and a coffee. back. I'm going to change the video on this, I just realized. And Dallas did just ask if I can go pick up the kids, which obviously I can go pick up the kids. So, but that does put us at about just under 2 hours before I need to head out. So I'll break stream again then. And then I'll be back after dinner to do whatever. Now, I guess the question is if I'm sorting the bags into what stages they are for, like, finishing and what they need done. Is that something you kind of want to be walked through? Like, what counts as a bag that's almost there, or, like, nearly done and stuff like that, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how interesting that would be. I guess it's partly an organization thing, too, so we'll see. It does sound terribly boring right when I'm doing taxes, but it would be a good way to be a reward system after getting some taxes done, because I don't want to be doing taxes all day, just because that's like a lot mentally taxing. But I do need to get them done, so I guess maybe what I could do is like half a day of taxes and then half a day of finishing up the timeout / with bins. Because yes, I agree. I am starting to drown in like almost done's and stuff that's like I just completely apparently forgot to sew the handles for these freaking bags. So it's like, fine. What I'll do is I will actually bring the I'm like, the big thing that I need is I need a space to sort everything on. So maybe I'll take it into the cutting studio. We'll take all the whip bins, we'll dump it out, and then we'll sort it. And I don't think I'll stream that. And then what I'll do is I'll record a video of it, and then we'll do a voiceover of it. And I can fast forward it, because it is going to take me a while to figure everything out. I do have the bins under the actual cutting table that also have a lot of, like, the exteriors cut, but they'll need like lining and interfacing and stuff like that. So, but the stuff that's like near, like just cut could go into those bins and stuff like that. Like just the exteriors are cut or so whatever. So, because that would reduce the like a little bit of the chaos in the cutting studio as well. But if I did it off stream and just recorded it, then I could listen to an audiobook, and that would make it much more enjoyable. I like coming on to chat, but I do need to be doing some more like post-production videos, or I don't know. Streaming's worked fine. And then it'll also give me a chance to like figure out what I actually, so we'll do timeout bins and the like timeout projects, because they're not necessarily all in bins. They're a little bit everywhere. There is actually a bunch of big bags that have been like pre-cut, but all I did was sew them back together into the like configuration that they need to be in. But because I then decided that I was going to swap them out for canvas, they're sitting here waiting, because all I have to do is like take out one seam. So it's like that's not a nearly done, because that's still basically a full bag that I have to make, but I can like, it's something that will be, a lot of the mental decision making has been done. There we go. The mental energy on it is less in some ways, because it's already been, the ball's already rolling on them. And it is so true. It's like there's so much less editing when I'm streaming. And it's like it doesn't feel like it has to be as scripted and stuff like that. So maybe we'll stream it. I don't know. It might still be an interesting process for y'all. And what I could do later is take the caps. looking at. I wanted to go do the Canmore half marathon, but they strongly suggest a 3-hour finish, and I don't know if I can do that yet. Actually, I'll just tell them. Yeah, we could sign me up after Calgary. Yes, way less editing when streaming, so maybe we'll do a stream, and then what I want to do is actually take all of these streams and like condense them into like a fast forward with a voiceover or something like that, because I think that would be kind of fun. For folks who haven't, like, I don't know, the thing about the lives is it's nice because people can come in and watch them whenever they want. They're still posted to my YouTube. They're just not posted on the front page. I wonder if there's a way I could actually like move the live tab over so that like it was like what you land on instead of landing on the video portion of it. Wonder if that would work. Oops. All right. Oh no. Dallas is like, I'm gonna get signed up for Canmore. I'm like, cool. I want to do the half this year. And he noticed the time limit after he signed us up. So I guess I am speed training this summer. I think they strongly suggest a 3-hour finish. I think I can do that. Well, I think I did it like at 3:10 in Florida. So yeah, we'll just tick along, see what I can do over the summer. I guess I'm doing some speed training. Oh my goodness. All right. The insane part about that is like to be a Boston qualifier, kind of like for sure, you need to be sub 3 hours for a marathon. And I'm like over here like, I don't know if I can do a half in 3 hours. It is never a goal of mine. Well, okay. I say this right now. It is not a goal of mine to run Boston. I still don't quite understand the hype of it. I think there's a lot of other races that are probably just as or more fun. I get that it's like the oldest race or oldest organized marathon, but again, I'd much prefer to do Kyoto or something like that. And Tokyo. Tokyo would be fun, and it is one of the big 6, but it's also a little bit easier to get into, I think, than even Boston is. So. But at least I know that there is a strongly suggested time limit on Canmore, because Fernie was like, I asked the sweeps because they were behind me the whole time. I'm like, is there a time limit on Fernie? And they're like, no. Well, they discussed it, but they didn't decide on anything. I'm like, okay, because I had looked at the time, the finishing times for last year, and they were around 3:21 and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll be dead last, but like whatever. Someone's always got to be dead last. And the only thing that happened though, so I finished at 3:20 flat. I'm pretty sure last year's winner was, or last person in was like 3:21. And they were already packing up when, like, just before I came in. They had a pity party without me even knowing that they were having a pity party, because they'd taken the PA system apart and everything like that. So to finish the bags now, what I'm doing is I'm taking the lining and I basically just fold it under the seam allowance that would have been sewn on the, when I was like finishing the edges. So just fold it in. This is how I get no raw edges in my bags. Lots of people use binding. I do not like using binding. Just something I've never gotten into really. It's useful in certain applications, here not so much. And then I just sew along it to close it up. If I weren't doing so much production, yes, you could close that by hand. I'm not closing this by hand. Mostly because it's like I don't close these by hand, because honestly the sewing machine does a tidier job than I do with my hand stitching. Which is amazing. seriously. It is one of the really awesome things is like there are a lot of extremely exclusive, or not exclusive, inclusive marathons. Disney being one of them, because like their finish time is 7 hours from the last group. So if you're in a higher corral, if you think you're even going to be slightly faster than that, you end up having close to 8 hours to finish the marathon. So one of my goals for the next time that we do any of these challenges is that I'm faster so that we can get into a higher corral. Faster just so I'm faster. We're not on the course for 6 hours, almost 7 hours. And we can meet the characters along the way, but in part because it's also like if we're in a higher corral, then we have more leeway to be able to just basically have a better party. Yeah, what was the quote I've been seeing is it's like, what's the average time, or what's an average person's time to finish a marathon? And this isn't me trying to be like, yeah, I'm above average, but it was like average people don't finish marathons basically. The number that actually finishes. The cool thing is though, I think that if you train for it, even walking pace, you'll be able to finish it. That's the awesome thing. As long as you are able to be on your feet, and whether you're running it or walking it, it is mental. It's all, well, okay. It's physical too, because like you're still sore. But like that's what part of the training is. It's like making sure that your body is able to deal with that endurance, and then also though that you're mentally ready for it, because if your legs and feet are yelling at you, it's a lot harder to like continue, because your physical, like your mental can't overcome that as easily if you haven't done the training for it. There we go. That's where I'm getting. I'll get there eventually. Yeah, and that's fair, and you don't need to finish one either. I didn't. Here's the thing, I actually really hated training for the marathon. Am I now already planning out my other? Yes, but that's because I'm probably a little bit nuts, and the running is probably a little bit why I'm nuts. So, that and maybe working by myself on my own business. But you know, I get to inflict it on you all on the live stream now, so. But here's the thing, like, I guess part of it for me was also, it's like, well, if I don't sign up for it, then I'm definitely not going to do it. And that's part of it. And realistically, I was like, well, if I fail, I fail. What's the worst that's going to happen? They'll pick me up in a bus and they'll take me to the finish line, and that will be perfectly fine too. I really like Disney's inclusivity with, so like they've got the 7-hour finish. A lot of other marathons do have like 7 to 8 hour finishes as well. Some of the marathons, it's like, okay, we recommend this, but like I think New York City is one of the most has like one of the longest finishes. I can't remember. But then apparently New York City also has like a 2-mile walkout after you run the marathon. It's just like, oh my god, that would be too much. Although the walkout of the Epcot parking lot, because they park you over in like one of the lower used lots, because all these races are running during the quieter season at Disney. It's like a 2.5 kilometer walk back and forth either to the bus station or like the monorail station, so it's not that much closer. But no, I enjoy my 5Ks. I enjoy my 10K right now. That's a nice, sweet spot for me right now. I'm going to keep up a half marathon at least every year, because if we are applying for marathons, I want to have a proof of time I can submit. And a half marathon is going to have a lot more wiggle room for improvement than a 10K does, because it's just a longer distance, so you just have more of a chance to improve. And I guess I've got to improve by like 10 minutes. I can't remember how long I was in the marathon at Disney. I think it was 3:10. So I guess I got to improve by at least 10 minutes and like half an hour based on my time in Fernie. So that's like a minute. Okay, that's actually not too bad. It's about a minute and a half. Never mind, that's a big pace increase. It's a minute and a half per kilometer. So basically right now I'm running at about a 10-minute kilometer, 6 to 6.5 kilometers per hour. So that means I'm gonna have to run an 8 to an 8.5 minute kilometer. Oof, okay. That is going to be... That'll be an intense training session. Oh well. And one awesome thing is that I had been dealing with a bunch of plantar fasciitis since like October of November of 22. And the training really bothered it. I don't know why. Well, I know why. It was straining the tendon, obviously. Sweet. I did steal the charge cable for the laptop, but that is almost charged already. Anyway, so I saw a physio because thankfully Dallas has coverage and all of that. I'm very lucky there. And it was stiff on the 10K day and a little bit stiff on the half marathon day. And then obviously after the marathon, that's fine. I was expecting that, but it was not sore like it had been. So the taper that I did before, which was basically like you are going to sit on your butt because you're like sick. Not really a good taper, but you know, a taper nonetheless. Really helped, I think. And then it's like it hasn't bothered me since. And I'm like, all right. So we'll see what happens now once I start running again, because I've been resting for this week, and I'll restart running on Wednesday. Oh, I just realized I have kiddos on Wednesday, so we'll see if I can do taxes or not. I don't know. Maybe we'll come down and I'll just sort whip bins or something like that, which means I won't be streaming it. I'll be recording it because kiddos are around. So the new schedule as of February, and actually I'll announce this on the YouTube channel page as well, I just realized, will be that I will be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever it is. And yeah, we will just kind of start working through the whip bins maybe once taxes are done. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll swap like half whip and timeout bin and half like prototyping the next few weeks, because there are a couple things to make, like the book sleeves like you suggested. I think that's a really good idea. I want to make mini NCW wallets, so I know how to make it. I just want to make it to make sure that it's a good size. And then I want to figure out these cell phone wallets finally. They're lurking in the whip bin as well. They're kind of timeout, so we'll sneak those in first maybe, because it's a timed out prototype, because I needed to add the or I timed them out because I got to a point where I was like, nope, they need interfacing. I didn't have interfacing and I didn't have time, so we'll do those first. A little bit of a cheat, but whatever, it's still stuff out of the timeout bin. I wanted to get them done for this weekend, but that's okay. Big bags and small box bags are a very good restock to do instead. Yeah, we'll do timeout, and then we'll go in and we'll sort the scraps and do a whole run of needle stashers and notions pouches. And then, yeah, timeout, scrap busting. And then I'll go back to my new fabrics. Alright. Actually, the awesome thing with the, so I do interval training. I'm going back to running, just as a transition. It's like, I run, walk my timeout bins. No, I'm talking about running. So I do run, walk intervals. And the really awesome thing with the Run Disney stuff is they have training programs that they publish online. So if you want to get even like a coach to 5K sort of program, it's really good. And they even have beginning programs for like up to a 10K. And then you can move into the experienced runners. I would count that as experienced even after a 5K. And like it's set up really well to be very approachable. for anyone who's like starting or restarting or like just wants to change it up. So maybe I will post a link to those in the comments, since I've been talking about them a lot anyway, and like this is obviously not something I'm going to stop talking about for a while. I'll post them in the description. Yeah, I'll go in and edit the description. I also need to find that gnome comic I was talking about with the prophet joke. And yeah, the cell phone cases are a very nice happy medium. We'll finish the prototype of them, and then we'll work on the timeout bins. I also need to work on the custom orders. That came in over the Boxing Week sale, so I think we'll mash it up. Half day on, so we'll do a half day of taxes, half day of timeout, half day of taxes, half day of timeout, and then we'll do a half day of custom orders and a half day of whatever it's called, timeout bins and whip bins. And then that'll actually add some variety back in as well, because there's some older fabrics in those timeout bins too. And then I've got to figure out what to do with the dreg fabrics. So it's like, so some of the fabrics that I had that have been super popular are now down to like very minimal amounts, and I'm like, got analysis paralysis. I'm like, okay, it could be this or this or this, and I'm like, I don't know what to make with it. So maybe we'll do a maybe what I need to do is an analysis paralysis stream where you guys help me decide what it's going to become. I think that would be a lot of fun. And like, it could be basically anything that I make that's regularly made in the shop. So like, not prototyping. A lot of these will not be prototype stuff, or wallets or purses or whatever is what it could be. And not as a like commitment to a custom order, but just as a get me out of the decision making stage and get me to making the stuff so that I clear my shelves so I can go back to Japan. just get me back to Japan, everyone, please. The algorithm has very much enjoyed my channel recently though, so I do really appreciate everyone who has subscribed recently, previously, keeps joining me. Andrea's put up with me for a lot of months now, so thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I am working towards monetizing the channel, so hopefully we can hit 1,000 subscribers by at least the end of 2024. It's ticking up though, which is super exciting, because realistically my channel had what I would consider gone extinct. Like, I'm surprised that YouTube is even pushing it to anyone, so. But that's the other reason for the live streams, is just making sure that there's consistent like interaction on the channel as well. So thank you. And if you're watching this later, any comments are always appreciated. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. Alright, that was almost a complete disaster. It was only a small disaster. That was the clip bin. This is why we need to tame the chaos a bit. Because pixel cats need to be finished. Alright, we're going to finish the rest of the big bags. And then there's actually another stack of small box bags to finish. And realistically, I should close the blinds because I thought it was going to be, well, it was sunny, and now we've got like a Chinook arch going through, I think. So a Chinook arch pushes like a bunch of clouds in front of it. But it doesn't look like it looks like a Chinook arch, but it doesn't. There's more clouds behind it. I don't get it. It's weird. It's a weird weather system right now. But it's also supposed to be like -1 tomorrow, or +1 tomorrow. It's still -13 right now, so that tells me it is a Chinook. But also usually when there's that big a jump in like temperature, I have a massive headache, so I don't know what's going on. Everything's messed up. Alright. I just realized I also need to wind another bobbin. So let's get that winding while we're working on these longer seams. It's hard hard to wind it actually when it's like the little like the smaller, like small box bag seams, and there are going to be far too many bags behind this sewing, like piled up on this sewing machine. So let's try to gently not knock over the microphone again. And actually I'm gonna clip it right there and just there, get down there, go. Yeah. Oh, now they're on my feet. Oh. Okay, did I finish the crepe cats? No, crepe cats have not been finished yet. Alright. Now they're piling on my pedal, which is not good because that could actually affect my sewing and make it sew over my fingers, which we are still thankfully avoiding. There we go. Alright. There, that's good. And then I can go back there. Oh, I never realized how much of my process was quite so chaotic until I started streaming it. And now I'm like, oh right, this probably looks unfamiliar to a lot of people, but that's just how this studio works. Unfortunately some days, and fortunately other days. But yeah, I do want to get the like studio actually tidied up because I want to do a studio tour. And I think it's finally settled into enough of a form of what it will remain for a while that I feel comfortable sharing what I've done and what we've done to like organize it and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll do that. Well, even if it's not perfect, I think I'm going to do it after I tidy up this week. So maybe I'll do it on Monday. That will be an excellent impetus to like actually get tidied up. And like that will be a recorded and posted video, because I always like seeing people's studio spaces and like using people's organization ideas. That's usually what I'm watching them for. It's like like a lot of stuff won't work for me, but there's usually some sort of tidbit that I'm like, wait, that will work though. So okay, fold. Yeah, Dallas came home. He got my float for me, which is awesome. And then he's like, "There's no stock in the truck yet." I'm like, "Nope, because stock's not finished yet." The stock is going to be so hot off of the sewing machine, you may still be able to like feel the needle going through the thread. Or that doesn't make sense at all, and I don't know what would. It's not like they actually get very hot because you can't have a hot sewing machine, or like, oh, you would scorch your fabric. There we go. My god, my brain today is like, what? I hope this weekend or tomorrow goes well. I'm like, holy. Actually tomorrow, so a lot of show talk is repetitive. You're saying the same thing over and over, and that's good because that means that I don't have to think. I don't just like, yeah, verbally vomit on everyone. It's like two very different kind of public personas, and like it's still me, but being on the stream I'm able to give you like tidbits and behind the scenes stuff and like more info on things than I would be able to do if I was just seeing you at a show. Because here's the thing, a show sometimes is so busy that you don't even get a chance to really catch your breath. Like Knit City this year was that way. Like it wasn't like I was swamped, but we were busy all the way from when we opened on Saturday till about 3:30. There was typically someone in the booth, and so like in that case, like you're able to have short conversations, but you're not able to have an in-depth conversation, and that is something that I'm really enjoying about basically monologuing at you all. As much as it's a chaos, oh my god, as much as it's a chaotic experience probably for everyone, including myself. It's nice to be able to chat about some of the stories behind the fabric and like going and selecting the fabric and things. And it is like I'm trying to build, so like last trip in May was the first time that I really tried to make content from my travels in Japan. I still have a ton of videos that I probably should post, and actually now is the time to be posting them because they're all like nice and green and floral and chill. So maybe that's part of what I'll work on over the next few weeks as well, as like video content to actually post, but and photos and stuff like that. But like trying to kind of spitball ideas about like what do we actually want to see next time I go, because like I'm happy to film stuff, obviously. I'm getting more comfortable behind, in front, around the camera again, because realistically I am just verbally vomiting at you constantly. And if I'm editing the content, I'm able to be a lot more articulate, I guess might be the best way to put it. Less chaos. Although if that's what you're here for, maybe that's just the vibe I keep. But yeah, so it's like, I like having, it's also, again, like, being self-employed and working from home can be very lonely. I love it. I love the freedom that it gives me to be able to do what I do. I love the fact that like I have been able to build a business where I do get to travel to Japan regularly for fabric, and like I've got a story to tell. That's what I love about it. But when you're down in the trenches of like show prep like this, it is lonely. Like I haven't barely seen Dallas this last week, or my kids. Actually, I spent about 4 hours with the kids last night. What am I talking about? But like quality time with kids, no, that was just complete zone out time for all of us because I've been working all day. So one of the vows I am going to make to myself this year is the kids are going to go into summer camp. We were very lucky. They actually just upped all our grants for childcare in Alberta. So it's going to reduce our childcare costs significantly. And that's part of a provincial federal initiative. So we're lucky that we're able to take advantage of that as well and have that available to us. But yeah, over the summer, that means that then on the weekends, that is when I will do the quality time with them, which is weird because we don't usually utilize our weekends very well, but we need to get better about it. So that'll be, and it'll be good because that'll be when we can see friends and like socialize with other like people outside of school and work and all of that. So that does mean over the summer you can look forward to more content chaos of live streams for sure. So alright, that is all the big bags, guys. Yes. Okay, we got small box bags and then we're done. Small box bags. Small box bags. I did get a shower earlier and there's this like one curl that like really came in. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't even know I had like that short of a like curl thing right there. So it's just vibing there right now. Yeah, I do need to have like, I think I need to have a good mishmash. This works the best right now because I'm in show prep and it's like if I didn't live stream there would be no content, and that angers all the algorithm gods. Now, I will be going radio silent over the weekend because I will be at a show and then I'm resting on Sunday. And then I don't know how I'm going to do Monday. I do want to do that really hard reset on the studio. But if Dallas is down here, I don't know if he's comfortable about being on stream. So I guess I'll chat with him and we'll figure out maybe something like he works off camera and I work on camera or something. I don't know. I think the main thing we're going to do on Monday is on the dressers that are like the stock dressers have a crap ton of stuff on them that do not need to be up there. And so it's a point of like, it's just mess. So I think the big thing is we'll tidy up the garbage. And then it'll be working through like actually getting stuff where it's supposed to be and things like that. So pre-recording that might be better anyway, and then I can just compile all the tidy up videos. Because I feel like that's going to be, it's going to be more than a day process right now. Or at least I'll prepare myself that's going to be more than a day process. And then we can always do a combo of like live stream later and stuff like that too. Okay, we're almost there. Hope that didn't screw up the bobbin thread. No, we're good. Okay, more coffee. A couple more bags. Whoa. Eek. That was the whole surge bar. I don't even know why that fell off. Apparently my coffee cup was like holding the surge bar back, and now it's surged for. Oh, it's because all the project bags are sitting on the wires that are like running behind the sewing machine. Because this lamp here, this one, which you can't really see right now, but is integral to our whole setup here. I just realized that turning on the ring light might be a good idea too. Anyway, this light is plugged in so it stretches across. So that might actually be a good point to like run an extension cord like along the side here. I think there are more plugs behind me, but I need to like move the zipper drawer and figure that out. Yes, okay, yeah, that can be part of the tidying up too. It's just like, because of course running the cord behind wasn't a problem before because we were against a wall, so it's like everything kind of fell in front of the cord. But now that the cord can really be pulled down, it needs to be run differently. Or I get like one of those cord tracks and run it along my chair mat or something like that. I'll figure something out. Hello? There it is. I'm like, where's the seam that we need to close? The opening we need to close. So this is what happens. We fold it all in right here like this. Make sure everything's nice and even, and then this gets stitched right along the top here at about 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, just because that makes sure that it catches both layers, but also doesn't create too large a fold so that it's like warping the bag basically. That's what we're trying to avoid. That thread was not connected. It's cold enough that my fingers have shrunk again, and it's like my rings are all loose, which is super annoying. It's like, no, you need to just stay upright. My finger's still getting acclimatized to having a ring on that finger, or my hand's still getting acclimatized to having a ring on that finger again. It's my right ring finger, and I used to wear a lot of rings all the time. Then I kind of stopped, and then Disney had some nice rings this trip, and I'm like, okay, I really want one as like a present to myself for finishing the marathon. And they weren't that expensive because it's just sparkly. That's all I wanted. My grandma was a really big ring person. The unfortunate part is that I have inherited her fat fingers, and I say that very lovingly, but yeah, I'm like, they only size up to a size 9 at Disney, and that is the size that I need, and it won't even fit on my like index finger or anything like that. It is the ring finger, which apparently is my like skinniest finger outside of the pinky. So I'm like, okay, that's what I wanted it for anyway. But now my fingers have shrunk, and I'm probably down to like an 8.5 to 8.75. So it's like, which is hilarious because then that would actually match my wedding band and engagement ring as well. I think part of it is definitely the cold, but it's also like my body is no longer retaining as much water because I'm not running this intensely. I found out that apparently, so part of what happens when you build endurance for running is you store a bunch of glycogen. So glycogen is the like long-term carb storage in your liver. But for every ounce of glycogen that you store, of course your body's going to be like, oh my god, you're doing this endurance, you need fuel, which is awesome. But for every ounce of glycogen, you store like 3 ounces of water or something like that. No, so like I don't even know what that is in grams, but I do know that that means then for every like 4 ounces of glycogen, that means that you store like 12 ounces of water, which is a pound right there. So I think that's part of it, and also coming out of the humidity into the dry is gonna make you dump water too, so from what I can tell. But long story short of that is my rings are spinning on my fingers and it's really annoying. Chaos complaint stream today. That's where we're at. There we go though. There's the last seam. We are done the sewing. I have been streaming for under 2 hours and we are done the sewing. Although I did stream earlier this morning, but we're going to ignore that because that was a different stream. Stop. Do not go off. I just want to drink my coffee. Is 100% my coffee cup actually holding up that search bar. So let's get these trimmed so that we can get them off of that extension. So yeah, so this is the one. This one wins for the small box bag because of just like the gradient of the flowers. This interfacing, as much as I bitched and moaned and complained about it the other day, is making for a really nice structure in this bag. So I guess we're stuck with it for now. But I really like how it's like gradiented from the front around on this diagonal, and then like you get this like big spray of flowers on the back, and then the handle is a little bit more subtle if that's what you're kind of going for, and then the front is a nice subtle like just kind of flower field. But I really like the fact of how it transitions on the back down onto the butt of the bag basically, and actually even the head of the bag. So that one wins for the small box bags. And then the one that wins for the big bags is the cat silhouettes with those red flowers, just because like it turned out so elegant, like for a tote bag especially. Alright, so we need to trim these up, and then we need to do the snaps into the needle stashers. What time is it? 3:40. Okay. So should I trim these up or should I leave? No, I'm not going to leave that for tomorrow because standing around and doing it in the booth is dumb. We're already going to be tagging tomorrow, so we'll trim up the threads here, so I also don't have to clean up a bunch of threads from the floor there. I'm going to have to clean up all the threads from the floor here, because, you know, why wouldn't I? I should actually see if I can get that, like, a carpet brush, because that was a suggestion I saw from somewhere. It's like, get a carpet brush, like one of those, like, defurs for your couch, basically, and then you can use it on your carpet to pick up the thread pieces before you vacuum so they don't wrap around the beater bar. But I'm curious if it would work on my carpet because I have shag. Should find out if I can borrow it and see if it works. Wonder if I have a friend who has one. Probably. Maybe. It is an incentive to like work hard so that I can get laminate down here sooner rather than later, because like cleaning up laminate is just so much easier when you're sewing, because then you can just sweep or use like the non-beater bar part of the vacuum at least. Whereas the shag loves to hide stuff. I know that it was like super gross cleaning it, so when I cleaned it, so when we moved in, we were like, we're gonna change it to laminate before you even start working, because I was like, I do not want shag carpet in my studio. And then we hemmed and hawed about it, and we looked at the price, and we went, no, let's not do that for now. The carpet's still in really good condition, all things considered, because the house was like 8.5 years old at that point, 7.5 years old, and they had a dog and cat, or kids and stuff like that, so that's part of why I was like, okay, it's actually in really good shape for what it is. It's in better shape than ours was at that point, and our house was also 6 months younger. Mostly because of the cats, and like I lived, like it was my workspace, and I lived in the house like not 24/7, but like I wasn't out at a job and stuff like that, so I think there's just a lot more wear on it in some ways. Anyway, yeah, so fast forward almost 2 years now, and it's like, I am still like, I really want to change this flooring. The big thing that I think has changed is Dallas originally wanted to also do laminate on the stairs, and I do not want laminate on the stairs. I want carpet on the stairs because I just know I'll come down those stairs if it was laminate at some point, and I will come down on them very painfully. I've done that before with hardwood stairs. I'm just like, no, carpet on the stairs still. But our massage therapist now works from her house, and that's exactly what she has. So she transitions from a laminate or hardwood upstairs to like carpet for going down the stairs into the basement, and then back to laminate hardwood. A, if we have someone install it, it's a lot cheaper to not have them do the stairs, and B, it's a lot safer, especially with the kids too. And like, this is the main access to our backyard, so does it make it a bit of a pain in the ass to clean? Yes, 100%, because there's like this one random patch of stairs or carpeted stairs on top of it, and vacuuming stairs is never fun. But cleaning up shag carpet from sewing debris is even worse. Well, that will be one of my goals for oh yeah, so the whole story of that is we didn't clean the carpet because originally we were going to change it out to laminate, because before we moved in I had the professional cleaners come in and like clean all our upstairs carpets and all of that, just because it's like way nicer to do that and far easier to do it when all the furniture is already out of the house, or yeah, out of the house and not been moved in yet. So I got them to come and clean like in between two things, and then but we didn't clean the basement because we were going to change out the floor. So this December was the first time in however long this floor has been cleaned, and it was pretty gross. Probably should vacuum and actually do it again, but I'll do it in the summertime now so that I can like crank open all the windows and have and like it can dry faster hopefully that way, because we still aren't that humid even this summer, or like in the spring or something like that when I can open the windows and have more of an airflow across the floor sort of thing. There we go. Capybara. Okay, so I think what's gonna happen now is we're gonna just finish prepping the big bags, and then I'll go pick up kiddos, and then after dinner I'll come down and we'll put all the snaps into the needle stashers. So we'll be in a new locale, because I'll actually move us over to the other desk over here. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. But at least the sewing is done, because realistically I really want the needle stashers done, but if I were to not show up with a bunch of needle stashers tomorrow, it's not like I don't have others. Well, I don't have a lot of other stock, but at least I have bags. More bags than I had at the beginning of the week, that's for sure. Okay, and the card reader is half charged already, so I just have to remember to actually take it upstairs instead of forgetting it like I've done at a couple pop-ups this year. Well, one pop-up. I also had a little bit of momentary panic when I went up to get it, and I was like, it's not in the cash box, where would it be? And then it was like snuck in the corner underneath and right at the back of the actual like because I put it into the cash, like, flippy flips. I don't know what you would call it. So it's a cash drawer, and it's like where you put the bills under the flippy flip. The bill flip, bill hold, whatever it's called. I don't know what the technical term is, but apparently it is now bill flippy flip. I promise I am not on any substances. Just mom brain, apparently. I don't know. Or even do, so we drank up until the end of the trip with Disney, and now we're doing a dry month to Valentine's, and Dallas is doing a dry month to St. Patty's Day, and the only reason he's going to have a drink that day is because he's got a 5K that included a beer, which is actually pretty cool. And then I'll probably dry right through until the marathon and half marathon weekend at the end. Oh no, Dallas's birthday at the beginning of May, because Beer Fest is in Calgary over his birthday, so we'll definitely not be skipping that this year because he's taking off his birthday. Well, in part because it's like, then he's off for the youngest's birthday, off for his birthday because they're both like right back to back, and then he's home for Beer Fest, which is pretty awesome as well. I like Beer Fest. We actually, the last time we went, we didn't find a lot of beer we liked, but we definitely found a lot of distilleries we liked, so that was good. And then I have a feeling we'll probably go more or less dry until like birthdays and Stampede, because Stampede always needs a beer, or 2 or 3. But it's realistically, like I said, I want to lighten up and be, like, need to lose a little bit of weight, and honestly, cutting alcohol is one of the easy ways to do it. We weren't over drinking, but it's just one of those things that it's not necessary, and we would prefer to have the calories elsewhere. Basically, is what it is. That one needs to go back under the machine again because it didn't get caught completely, so we'll just do that right now. Actually, I'm gonna seam rip that a little bit, and then we'll hold it under properly. Although I had an amazing, the last day at Disney, we were out of the park early, so we didn't know what to do for dinner, but we ended up getting a reservation at our, basically at the restaurant that was at our hotel, Kona Cafe. Last time we went, we didn't really enjoy it, but we also went with stuff that was like really not to our taste. And this time, and we've done like mobile orders from it since, but it was like we could just mobile order from it, but I'm like, honestly, we're gonna pay the same in restaurant, so let's actually go eat in restaurant. And we lucked out that we were able to get a reservation like within a couple hours of making that decision, so otherwise we would have just mobile ordered. But up on the same level, there's also a lounge that I had never actually really realized was there until this trip. So we ended up with, had a back scratcher, which was delicious. It was like an alcoholic Shirley Temple, which was awesome. Basically rums and stuff like that. And then it actually came with a back scratcher, which was freaking amazing. I love it. And then Dallas had some sort of beer from one of the Hawaiian breweries in somewhere, Maui maybe, Honolulu, somewhere in there. It's Kona Brewing, and it was decent. But one of the breweries that we found that we really, 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 really like out of the States is Sierra Nevada, and they had a pale ale and we've been enjoying pale ales. Not India pale ale, it's different. But like pale ales and hazy pale ales have been the big ones. And they had a really good one that we had sampled. Well, we had sampled the hazy in Hollywood Studios. That was the park we had done that day, because they have like a tap room with mostly California alcohol, because like Hollywood Studios is based off of Hollywood. And it was really good. And I was like, okay, so they've got the Sierra Nevada here at Polynesian, so we should try some of their other stuff. And like everything we've had from them so far has been so good, so I gotta try and find them in Canada. Oh no, the side seam didn't get caught. Okay, so there's one for the timeout bin, because we are not pulling it out and redoing that side seam. Or should I? Damn it, I wish I'd caught that before. How much work would it be? The debate is going to be longer than just pulling out the seam and redoing it. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm glad I caught that before it went on the shelf though, because that is embarrassing and disappointing for everyone if it's on the shelf and then there's some sort of defect like that. If you do ever receive a bag with a defect like that, please contact me and I will figure out a way to fix it. Whether that's like sending the shipping label or something to get it fixed, or like, I don't know. That's probably cheaper than me like sending it to a seamstress in your area, so in most cases. Anyway, yeah, give me a shout and we'll figure something out, because I do not want you to be disappointed in your bag like I was just disappointed in my own bag. I know I'd be pissed as a customer or something like that. Well, I wouldn't. I would understand. but I would be annoyed at that sort of missed thing. I am both understanding and, yeah, I'd both be understanding and annoyed at having to do it, I guess. Alright, it's this side. Okay, let's double check the other side just to make sure that we caught it. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so we need to do this. But yeah, I could see someone being really annoyed with that, and understandably so, because you want, like, when you buy a product, you want it to be finished, and that would be supremely disappointing to have that happen. Okay, there we go. That is zipped out. I don't need to turn the whole bag back out. I just need to have that little bit up there. Like this. And then be able to tell where I missed like that. And then, so we'll start from the zipper. We'll sew down, and then where do we end? We can end, yeah, it's not a very large gap, so that's good at least. Okay, there. Okay, I just cut something out of the corner of my eye. Must have been a bird or something like that. And I'm actually gonna do one more because that didn't feel like it. Probably, I think that was too close together, and one more is not gonna. Oh, it's this stupid curl. That's what's distracting me, and like I'm seeing out of the corner of my eye because it's like perfectly in my peripheral vision. Okay, there we go. That was faster than putting it into timeout and like debating if I was gonna fix it or not. One less bag in the timeout bin. Yay! Okay. Now we'll sew and trim this up again. And then we'll finish trimming up the rest of the bags. Ah! We must go across. And that feels like it didn't catch the bottom of that one probably. So let's do we'll actually fold this over and we'll do almost a binding. Just so I know for sure that this is closed. There we go. This looks like some sort of fancy closure. And it kind of is. Fold it down. Hold it there and stitch. There you go. That's better. Again, what I'm trying to avoid is raw edges in the bag. I don't want thread unraveling into my project. I don't want thread unraveling into your project. So that's where we're at. There, now that is for sure sealed and done. And now we're going to trim up all these extra ends from having to pick it out. Trader bag, trader bag. Some of them are just out to get you sometimes. You know that? Everything else can be going super smooth, and sometimes fabric and bags just have a mind of their own. There we go. But the dog bag is now done instead of being put into timeout. So that is a win all around. Very cute dog bag. I love their little like super bright details. Alrighty. No, this is where we clipped it last time, and now we've got a small box bag. Yay, small box bag. Alright, so I showed you the small box bag that won excuse me, in its category earlier, and now I will show you the finished big bag that wins in its category this time, because obviously these are all pitted against each other about what one is best. Now, this is totally arbitrary and to my tastes for today, but I saw this one coming together and I'm like, that is going to be a supremely elegant tote bag, and that is what it became. Was a supremely elegant tote bag with the black zip, the black webbing, and then this black canvas frame. It's just like it came together so very nicely. It's amazing. So this is the one that won best big bag for today. Because, you know, you gotta sometimes. And so it's tied with like the small box bag with that floral print that came out so well for best bag for the day. Alright, there we go. There's the hedgies. They're also adorable. These are all adorable. It's just that those were the two clear winners for what was best bag for the day. And sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes all of them are really good, and then you're like, what? And then some days it's like that, where it's a very clear, oh yeah, you are the bag of the hour. You ran out of bobbin thread right at the end. How, when, what? Okay. Something skipped there. So there we go. Now it's finished. We'll trim up all these ends again. And then yeah, what do I need to do next? So we're gonna trim up all these ends for all the bags. And then they'll get tagged as I put them out tomorrow, because I don't have their tags right here, and I need to actually find the pins for the tags, which I think are in the Jeep. That seems right. And then, so that'll happen tomorrow morning as they get put out. That works. And then we're gonna do the snaps for the needle stashers. So snaps for needle stashers will happen after dinner. And then we're gonna throw all of these into a suitcase as I pass the suitcases. And that's where they'll stay for the night. Alright, there is all the small box bags under here that have been done. Ooh, sorry, that's gonna be really wobbly for a moment because of the, just whacked the whole camera setup. Alright. Trim everything down. Make sure that like there is no obvious flaws like the dog bag. Really should close my blinds, because now people are going to be able to start seeing in, because it's darker outside than it is inside. It's always funny because it's like I've got these like bright lights above me, of course, for like the sewing studio, and an even brighter light in my freaking cutting studio, because it's like you need good light. I always wonder what people think of, like, I wonder what people wonder is happening in here at night when I'm in here at like 1 or 2 a.m. still working on whatever I'm working on. Right, it's the curl, Katie. It's the curl. I'm gonna close the blinds, because otherwise I'm gonna keep thinking that there's a bird out there. I'll probably still think that there's a bird out there even with the blinds closed, but at least my room will be warmer. Gonna move the garbage can over, because realistically I could be dropping my threads into my garbage can instead of having to pick them up later. I've just kind of, I do have a thread catcher, but they are packed away somewhere right now, same as some of my stock where I'm like, where did that go? But yeah, I do have a thread catcher. Now I have a garbage bin for throwing my threads in instead, because you know, that will make my tidy up on Monday easier in some ways. And if they don't all make them in there, whatever. That's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, we're good. Alright, this one with these little cat faces and the necks, or the necktie scarf mufflers, are adorable. Like I said, I don't think there's any losers today. Keep saying that's adorable, and that's adorable, and that's adorable, because they all are adorable. Stay. But that's also part of the chaos of this live streaming, because there is no like script. We're just going with what's happening. And that is adorable bags today. I really like, yeah, okay, so that one is showing that shimmer off really well. So Japan's does this like gold shimmer, so amazing. And you can see it in that video, at least on my end. I can see it in my preview screen really well. So I love it. They also do sparkle really well, and it's like one of those sparkles where it doesn't seem to wash off very easily in the wash, because every time I've washed it, like, it's always been there when I've gone back to like actually use the fabric. So I'm not gonna complain about it, that's for sure. There's Alex. I just realized I could turn you back to triple camera. Oh, no, start video. And then you'd be able to, or back ultra wide, and then you'll be able to actually see what I'm working on a bit better. Yes, it gives you a bit more of that fisheye lens, but you're able to see it nicer. Okay, those are all getting stuff down there, just so I don't overburden the already full bin. Turn and done. And zippy, zippy, zip. Okay, Sushineko. So this is the red version of Sushineko. If you're looking for the navy or the natural version, Paula of Bad Anna's has the natural version, and from what I remember, Caroline at Ancient Arts Yarns in her like dye studio has the navy, at least the last time I was down there. Alright, and then the sloths. There's actually not very many sloths on this fabric. There's like a couple. Actually, they're mostly on the front, which is kind of cool. One on the side and one on the back. But I really like the lemons on this, and the pink on this is really good. It's like a pink lemonade pink. A very yellowy pink. Just realized I should finish my coffee before it gets too late, or else I will regret the rest of this caffeine. Especially now that I don't have to worry about it holding up the surge bar. So. You good? Oh yeah, you're backstitched. Okay. There. Alrighty. Crepe cats in the big bag. So I don't know if it's still used. The last time I was actually at Kansai Gaidai was when I was there with Dallas. I just realized if I have a spare or an extra day in Kyoto and Osaka, I could go down and I could have the best effing curry I've had in my life. It's this little like tiny, and as far as I can tell, it's survived the like shutdown and everything, and the like border closure and all that. But anyway, right across from the university that I went to exchange on is this like little hole in the wall. It looks absolutely horrendous from the outside by Canadian standards, like all of that. But it is the best curry I've ever had. And their tagline is kind of like, it's nan bigger than your face. And yeah, it's huge. I think it's like something like, so like 50 centimeters, so like 21 inches or something like that. Like it is massive. Yeah, that's probably about right. So what is that? Yeah, 18 to 21 inches, somewhere in there. Because of course they're all handmade, so they're all slightly different too. But the curry is also freaking amazing. Anyway, so I just realized, I was like, I haven't been back to Kansai Gaidai for a while. And the actual story I was going to launch into is like, the international students actually that were on exchange ended up on a campus that was like a side campus almost. So like there's a main campus, and then there's basically like an international campus, which is fine. Your classes got taught in English, which was the other nice thing actually about going to Kansai Gaidai, is being able to study in English with morning Japanese classes. So it's morning Japanese classes, and then afternoon like art history and religion and like all of those kind of classes were in the afternoon and taught in English. And then you'd have Japanese students actually in the classes, obviously to probably flex their, or to like get immersion in English in a teaching environment sort of thing. But on this campus is what we used to affectionately call the fishbowl, because it was basically like we had like a student lounge, and it's where most of us gathered because it was at the bottom of our like classroom space, and it was where our mailboxes were and like computer lab and all of that. And but it was glass fronted along, or glass, like it was just all glass on one side, so you could look in and like look at us like we're fashionable. I was just, like, the last time I was there was 8 years ago now, almost. In a couple months it'll be 8 years. And I'm like, now I'm curious about where they still have that or not. So I maybe will go to New Delhi, and then I might go poke around Kansai Gaidai again a little bit. I will definitely be recording my curry at Kansai Gaidai because, oh my goodness, it's so good. It's ridiculous because the best Mexican I've ever had was in Kyoto, and then the best curry I've ever had is in Osaka, like Hirokatashi. And like, Hirokatashi is not small, but it's also not even like Osaka proper. It's like not Osaka city. It's like a little, like, it's like, oh, I guess the best question of it would be like, it's almost like Burnaby is to Vancouver, or like some of the greater Toronto area is to Toronto. So it is in like Osaka area, and it's in Osaka province. That's the big thing. But it is not Osaka city proper. It's like, and it's also like halfway between Osaka and Kyoto, so yeah. Anyway, if you're ever in that area, or if you're planning to go on exchange to Kansai Gaidai, 100% please go consume New Delhi. It is amazing. It's also like always been like, I find food in Japan really, 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 really cheap. At least compared to eating out in Canada. And granted, you can go to all levels. You can go as expensive as you want. But in general, what I'm consuming there is typically pretty cheap. One of my proudest moments on the trip that I did with Caroline was we 100% got vibe checked at one of the restaurants that we went to. It was a kushiyaki. It's like it was fried meats and stuff like that on like kind of like oh my goodness, it's meat on sticks. That's the easiest way to describe it, and it's usually cooked over like a charcoal grill or whatever. Anyway, I had randomly stumbled across it because when I was going out to buy our geisha tickets, and I'm like, we should go try this place because it sounds amazing. And we did go back and we got in. It wasn't very busy to begin with, which is awesome. But then it started to fill up and fill up and fill up, and they started turning white people away. And I was like, and like 100%, as far as I could tell, they had the room for them. So I don't know what happened, but we passed some sort of vibe check. And then like another set of foreigners came in and they were allowed in as well. So I was just like, what was the difference for us that you let us in? I'm super curious. It's awesome. I love the fact that it happened. But it's like one of my proudest random moments in Japan. This is like, I got vibe checked and we passed in this random little restaurant in Kyoto. Now it is like part of it is I think they think, I don't know, maybe they thought that they wouldn't have a problem with us paying the cover charge, which we didn't. You had to pay a cover charge because it was in a really busy area of Kyoto. It's just off of Pontocho, which is one of the geisha districts. It's one of those ones where it's like, you think of Japan, and this is probably one of the streets you think of because it's like extremely narrow, and like shops on either side, and machiya, which are like, machiya, ochaya, tea shops and stuff like that, and restaurants, like, and it's right on the Kamo River. So there's a bunch of really fancy restaurants that like have verandas over the river. It's a nice area. It's also one of those like historical geisha districts. It's Pontocho. Anyway, so yeah, so they definitely have a cover charge in place because I think probably a lot of people come in and they don't eat enough to actually cover, like they'll be to cover not having someone else come in to eat enough sort of thing. But anyway, we passed the vibe check. I was very proud. I just wish I knew how I passed the vibe check because I really want to go back. So good. So good. Yakitori. There we go. That's what I was going for. But this was not just fried like chicken strips or chicken sticks. This was like They had like tomatoes and bacon, which was more like ham, and pork belly, and oh, it was just so good. Japan for me is a gastronomical experience, and I love it. I love trying new foods. I actually tried, we did do another yakitori. So yakitori is fried tori bean chicken. Yaki is like fried or baked or cooked, kind of. It's a contextual word. So takoyaki, which is the octopus balls, is yaki because they do get fried. Yakitori is like fried chicken, but not breaded fried chicken, but like chicken stick, like skewered chicken. There we go, chicken on skewers. So I guess this would probably be closer to like I think it's called kushiyaki, and it's like, which is like all the other things on sticks that have been cooked, like grilled, basically. Anyway, but when we did have yakitori earlier in the week, I did actually try kidney, which I hadn't tried since I was a kid, and I still don't like it. But hey, I tried it. The rest of that one was really good, but this other place like completely blew that yakitori out of the water. So good. Mushrooms. They did shiitake mushrooms, and those were like, they had some sort of sauce on them. Ugh. I'm getting hungry. I also hear Dallas making dinner right now, and I'm like, because he's making he's making Japanese curry with chicken katsu right now. So I am very ready to consume that food. Alright, there's the birds. I'm glad we went back and fixed the birds up. I can't remember what was actually wrong with the birds, but I'm glad we finished it. It's very bright and happy. It's got that navy zipper to kind of contrast the background a little bit, because I don't know, it just looks good with this like kind of muted dusty aqua. But I'm really glad we swapped out the handles from navy to yellow. That's what we did. We swapped the handle color. And they're saying like something like, I think it's saying like, how are you? And they're saying I'm good. And then there's like hellos and like good day. Anyway, they're French speaking birds, that's for sure. Okay, that has been clipped. I think this is the last Geiko bag, or the Maiko bag. So Maiko are the apprentice geisha, Geiko are the full-on geisha. Typically Geiko is used just in Kyoto. It's kind of a Kyoto area vocab. But if you hear Geiko, it's like, it is a geisha as well. But the ko more indicates, it's almost like child of the arts, which I think is very like innocent and amazing. I really like that term instead. Whereas geisha is more like, it's still the same implication, but the geiko is more, it's a little bit more playful, and it's a little bit more innocent, I guess. Not that geisha are prostitutes or anything like that, but just I like that they refer to them as child of the arts in some ways. I wonder what geisha actually translates to. I'm gonna have to look that up. Because like, it's also like one of those things where it's like, I don't think it actually has really a direct translation into English, but everyone knows what it is. It's the same as saying like a kimono or something like that. We know what a kimono, well, based on current trends in fashion, lots of people don't know what a kimono is, but if you know Japan, you know what a kimono is. By the way, Japan also does not have any plurals, so we don't refer to them as kimonos. They're just kimono. Or kaban, which is bag, which could also be like, so I've got taksan kaban, or lots of bags, would be the closest translation into English. Or taksan kimono desu, so lots of kimono. Or in English, if you want to pluralize it, it could be kimonos, but do not pluralize it if you're learning Japanese. Same as manga or anime. It's not animes. Although in English it kind of is. It's like multiple anime. That one doesn't bother me as much. I don't know why kimonos bothers me so much. Same as like obis. like, it's not, no, that's not how we say it. But you know, the more you learn, right? So actually, the other one that always drives me nuts is Edo Japan, and I'm like, no, it's supposed to be Edo. At least it's the chain and not the time period. But I can't say it Edo. I have to say Edo, and then everyone's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the plate. Well, we don't eat there much because it's actually not very flavorful compared to what it should be. It's very watered down. It's tasty, but it's very watered down in some ways. So we don't eat there very often. Oh my goodness, this one turned out really good too. So that is a second runner-up probably to that rose and like cat silhouette and floral bag. So cute. Alright, so I am getting, so it's 4:15. I need to leave just before 5 because pickup for the youngest is at 5 or just before 5. I'm not going to pick them up early, so what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to, we got to move over towards where I got to pack up stock anyway. So I'm wondering if I should move you all over with me. I'm just like, wait, is this all good? Looks like it's all good. I'll move you all over with me, and then we'll throw everything in the suitcases that's here and over there. Because that actually, my desk is less of a chaos creation than it was earlier. You can actually see desk. This is a vast improvement in the fact that you can see a desktop here now. And like a lot of the stuff that's on there actually has a home. It just has to be returned to it, like the webbing and the zipper. The zipper can just go up on the shelf. So what do we have left? We got snaps left, and then we got to pack the actual stock. That's not bad. High five. Thank you for keeping me on track the last 5 days. This is to me, this is insane how much I was able to finish over the last few days, considering where, like, realistically, all we had done at the beginning of this was we had the exteriors of the small box. Like, just to recap, the big bags had their canvas bottoms on, and they had their interfacing on. So the exteriors were complete and ready to be sewn, and the interiors were cut, and then the exteriors of the small box bags were cut. Everything else has been done in the last 5 days. So thank you. High five. Thank you for keeping me on track. That is an insane, like, we've finished over 50 bags in the last 5 days. So now we got to go finish the needle stashers and get this all packed up. Let's see where the card reader is for its charge. It's still only half. Where is my laptop at? It's at 68%. So it is going to need to be plugged in. So part of what we're going to have to move is we're going to have to move the phone and all the charge points. I really need to go to the washroom. Okay, so I'm going to call it here because realistically it's going to take me a lot of work to get us back over there. And I need to go up and go to the washroom anyway. So it's a good time to stop the stream. I'll get us all reconfigured and set up over on the other side, and then I'll be back after dinner to finish the needle stashers. Needle stashers will happen after I've packed the majority of the other stock. These will all get tagged in the morning as I'm putting them out. I am going to write the tags out, and I'll track down their little pins for them. By the way, they are all metal pins. If you have a tag on there, the middle pin is actually a bulb pin, so you can use that as a progress keeper. If you didn't know, now you know. But yeah, I've got to actually condense my stock down, and then we'll move over there and we'll get the needle stashers done after dinner. So I hope you guys all have a good time. I will end up picking up the kids, and then I'll probably be back on around 6, and then hopefully done around like 8:39. That's probably a high estimate. I hope that's a high estimate, but I don't know how long these snaps are going to take because they're new. But yeah, I will chat with y'all in about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, and hopefully we'll see you for more creatively chaotic monologuing at y'all.